you are an environmental historian. So break that down. What does an environmental historian study, and how does that relate to climate change?
The primary focus of history is people, but people live someplace, and they live in interaction with what we call the Earth system. So what's the relationship between nature and humanity? That's a central problem for environmental historians. What I do as an environmental historian interested in climate is to study a lot of the work of a lot of climate scientists who are drilling holes in the ground, in the ice, and in the sea floor, and coming up with essentially a library, an archive in the sediments of the chemistry of past natural history, environmental history of the Earth. And so my job is to connect human history with that natural archive that the climate scientists find in the ice cores, in the tree rings, in lake sediments. You know, how does it date up, and then how does it connect with the fate of humanity through time?
Have you ever seen a situation where the scientific data that you found from the environment, from ice core drilling, what have you, has forced us to rewrite an aspect of the recorded history?
Almost every dimension of human history now is open to a new analysis because of the findings, of the systematic findings of climate scientists over the last 25 to 30 years.
You and your colleagues have this term called the Anthropocene epoch. What is the Anthropocene epoch, and how does that relate to environmental history?
In the last 20 years, geologists have said maybe we can actually put a marker on the impact of humanity on the natural systems. We're going to call it a new period, the Anthropocene.
Although it's not been formally adopted as an epoch in geologic time, many researchers are using the term Anthropocene to describe the most recent period in the history of Earth. During this time, human activity has had a significant impact on the Earth's climate and ecosystems. The things that we do, from the massive changes in emissions sparked by the Industrial Revolution to the nuclear bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan, have had a dramatic impact on both humans and the planet we all live on. So we hear this all the time, this idea of cycles in climate and climate change. What do climate scientists agree on in terms of the cycle, and are we in a cycle?
So here we are in the progress exhibit of COSI. This is capturing the world as it was about 100 years ago. Even then, to produce the stuff and the early cars that might be driving down the street, we were pumping the beginnings of CO2 into the atmosphere from coal-burning plants, and that has accelerated massively. I was born in 1953, like state of fact, and the CO2 at that point was only 315. So it's gone 100 points in my lifetime.
Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas that when it's in the atmosphere, it traps heat from the sun on Earth. This is a good thing. Without it, our Earth's surface would be frozen solid. But as more and more greenhouse gases are released into the atmosphere, as Dr. Brooks said, the Earth is going to start to get warmer and warmer. And that impacts the Earth systems. Things like weather patterns, plant growth, and climate. Over the past 60 years, the carbon dioxide levels have increased at a rate of around 100 times faster than any other historical increase.
What we're experiencing in the last 100 years is not a cycle. We live on one Earth, we have to protect it. There isn't any alternative.
Well, Dr. Brook, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you, Frederick. It's been great to be here.